Right. So let's get some calls done here. Let's talk to some sellers. Let's get your first deal. So just gonna, again, we're dialing for dollars to get cash flowing deals and just pretty much get your first real estate deal under contract and transacted and everything else. So as always, this is week 3. We've been doing this for 3 weeks now, and day 1, cash flow calls, discovery calls with potential sellers. So let's go ahead and get it rolling here. I'm going to be dialing, and hopefully we can take it from there. So I invited a few people to join me to see what we can do. So we're going to do like a little bit of an interview and then interactions and things like that. So here's Sean. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, doing good. Just in the flow of things here. Are you driving?
I am in the car.
Yeah, I figured that. Okay, sweet. So yeah, I'm gonna start helping people with their calls on the group there. So I'm gonna get on Zoom here and pretty much call sellers. I mean, it's one thing to sit through a training and everything else. Another thing to get on the phone and actually try to get some deals on a contract, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have a couple of people that are going to join us here. So, oh, there's Tony, as a matter of fact. So let me let him in. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Just another day in paradise. I'm in Florida. I'm in Central Florida.
Oh, really? Where in Central Florida?
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can. It's much better sound too.
Okay, yeah, I just connected my headphones. Sorry. I'm in Auburndale. It's in Polk County, so I'm about an hour, more or less. It's usually with traffic because there's always traffic on I-4, but I'm about an hour west of like Kissimmee and Orlando and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, west. So you're closer to Tampa.
I don't think so. I would probably say I'm like because I have Lakeland, but that's even more like about right, and that is about the halfway point between Tampa and Orlando. So I'm a little more east. Yeah, but I like this town. I mean, my in-laws are here. I'm staying with the in-laws. I just moved up from Miami. I had been over there like 7 years, and I'm staying with the in-laws. I'm just got married. My wife is we're expecting.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you, man. We're going for induction the 19th at midnight. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's gonna be
Things
here
are
any
happening,
day.
man. You gotta make it happen. You gotta keep it away now.
For sure. Yeah. So I mean, that's more or less where I'm at. But I always, man, especially in this area in general, there's like Winter Haven and Lakeland, Auburndale, where I'm at, and like just the surrounding areas, dude. Like every day when I'm driving, I'm seeing like the bandit signs. People, you know, I'm not sure what. I don't think I need I mean, I guess it never hurts to build a relationship with like cash buyers and stuff. I don't know if they're wholesalers, but I see them all the time. And I've taken pictures and stuff, but I've never called anybody. So, you know, that's like one thing I see. I know there's a lot of realtors that do like not a lot, but a good amount, more than I would have expected, like seller financing. Like these realtors with like I guess seller to direct to agent, you know, they have their sellers are willing to do seller financing. A lot of them want a lot more, so I guess they're already open to the topic. It's more negotiation and stuff, but besides that, there's tons of houses out here that you know, the roofs don't really look too good, and they're all like, for the ones that have gutters, it looks like their gutters are been full and not cleaned in years. And there's a good handful of them that have just tons and tons of junk like around the house. And there's even some with like boarded up windows and this and that. And I think it'd just be worth exploring. Like I think there's opportunity out here for me.
Yeah, definitely.
I just been in, like, I'm just getting started, so I know kind of getting the cash flow going. Like, I think wholesaling is a better approach than trying to take down deals. But I think where I'm at, either by the end of this year or within like the next like 12 months, I'd like to get my first buy and hold, like a rental. You know, ideally,
gotcha,
I'd like to do it like a multifamily, but
no,
that's a little bit about me. That's I've kind of, I don't know if you would say studied, or I understand the lingo. You know, I'm bright in learning things. It's just more like a little bit of guidance in terms of like, you know, what, because Pace always says to be like talking to these homeowners and then just connect and just basically alley-ooping them. It sounds like he almost saying the general public should be like appointment setting for sub-2 students, almost. Yeah. But I'm just not sure what exactly that alley-oop looks like in terms of like, is it? Sure. Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Sure. No, I got you.
Sorry if I talked your ear off. I just kind of wanted to.
No, you're good, man. You're good. We're gonna get to work. Like,
cool.
We got Sean here with us too, and I was just telling him that it's one thing to lecture, you know, and to kind of go through a training and then just breaking down like the step by step, but it's a whole different thing to actually do it.
For sure.
I decided to just go on the group there because I was seeing a lot of people, always see a lot of people saying, hey, I need my first deal. And yeah, the first deal is the hardest. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because you're trying to figure things out. So I just thought, let's just get on a call and we can make some dials and just kind of talk through them, you know? And so I'm going to be doing this, you know, every week, at least twice a week. So we can get used to doing this because that's what really gets you the first deal. You're seeing things live. You're like, you know, just seeing how we're talking and rebuttaling and all of that type of stuff and setting people for success. So right. I'm also in Central Florida.
Awesome.
So I was doing deals in Jacksonville, but then I moved down to Ormond, Daytona area. So I'm looking for deals in the area. So we get you some wholesale deals. I mean, we can buy them. That's for sure. Central awesome. Florida. Yeah. I don't go up to Jacksonville anymore. And we don't go down to South Florida or anything like that. Sometimes Tampa. But right now we have a Lakeland deal, as a matter of fact, that we're trying to close. So, awesome. And then we have a couple of them, Orlando, and then we have one in D-Land. So pretty active.
Awesome. So, yeah, my mom's over in that area too. And even in that area over in like Volusia County, like she's in Deltona, there's the houses that need deals. Love. And especially right. Like I feel like here with the whole Lakeland, it's a little bit more maybe active or more developing or developed than over there.
Yeah.
It seems to be more just like older people, but it's like she said that things are changing and
yeah. So. Yeah, definitely. What about you, Sean? Tell us a little bit of where you are.
I'm I would say about half hour outside of Atlantic City in New Jersey.
Awesome.
Okay.
You know, it's definitely I would say a tougher market with numbers for property tax wise and things like that. It's not it's very it's expensive. So there's not a lot of room. Doesn't mean that there's not, you know. So I'm just kind of starting to analyze deals and just a lot of like realtor. I finally just started like actually talking to real estate agents. And I'm also, you know, in the same boat where I'm looking for something, you know, I want to do more long-term stuff, build some cash flow for me and my family and things like that. But so I'm pretty new to the wholesaling thing and I've been watching a lot of Pace's videos and just trying to get a grasp of that. So definitely interested on, you know, how to talk to sellers and just kind of trying to figure out. I mean, I know there's, you can go out and pretty much pay for leads and things like that. It just seems like as you start to get into the information, you get so many things thrown at you. Hey, pay for this. Hey, pay for that. So it's kind of like you
It
almost
can
are
be
like
for sure.
intimidated. It's like, well, I'm trying to make money. I don't have, a ton of money to be spending. I'm trying to use that money wisely, maybe purchasing a rental property or something. So it's like, I'm not saying that I don't believe in paying for education, because you absolutely have to do that, but not knowing where to put the money and the resources. So, I mean, this group has been absolutely amazing. I've already gotten so much information from people, just trying to help each other. So I'm, other than
no, the
that,
group is good.
yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah,
I got
I
my
like to
kid.
chime in real quick, if that's okay, Ben. I'm from
Sure.
Jersey. I grew up in Sussex, so I know that area you're
Oh,
talking about.
cool.
But separately, what I wanted to say, man, is if Ben's over here in Central Florida, I'm over here in Central Florida. You could do the whole drive for dollars virtually, or if you are going to buy leads, you could buy them in this area, and I could be like your boots on the ground if you want.
Oh yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I did just start a new job, but that schedule is very flexible. And I am full time is only 4 days, so it's not a big deal for me. And yeah, we can make it happen if it's I mean,
man.
Ben, if you're investing out here, obviously you're looking for deals out here. You have your first buyer, if he has certain criteria, you and I, we can just, we can JV the first deal, or we can, however, I'm here to help, man, for sure. I have time. So if there's something you need pictures, you need me to look at a property, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't really want to be talking to your deals, but if Ben's helping out, I'm willing to help out.
Yeah, because if we work as a team, that's the point of this, is if we work as a team, man, that's gonna be the most effective. And like what you're saying, you can be boots on the ground, and then back in Jersey, you're seeing how we're doing things in Florida, and you get the flow of things. We can also call some of your sellers. Like I don't mind. Like you're driving down the road, commuting, you see a house that needs a little bit of love, you skip trace it and stuff, and call the seller, and you're like, man, I'm stuck, bro. I'll get on the phone and talk to that seller. That's what it's all about. Like central to so you were saying that people want to sell you all kinds of stuff, and I agree. And there's all kinds of stuff to buy in real estate, right? But the one thing that you cannot outsource at the outset is kind of figuring out how to structure a deal. Like that's like that mind is, and that's what you see with Pace. Is like he can take a deal and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do with this deal. This is how we structure that deal, right? So that's what you want. You just want to be able to be quick and do that on the phone while you're on the phone. And the only way to get there is to just go through a ton of deals. Like you're analyzing deals, and you're like, maybe we can do this. This is how we can buy it. So we can buy creatively, or we can buy wholesale, and this is how we're gonna dispo it. And what you're saying is absolutely correct there, man. So let's do it. I mean, I'm all for it. We have a ton of people that replied to that post. Man, I got like 60 comments on there. I just thought I was going to get like 2 people. And I'm like, boom, boom, boom. It's like 60 people. I'm like, I can't keep up, So I just decided to send the link to you guys so we can just kind of get the ball rolling. I don't know what this is going to look like, to be honest with you. But what you're talking about, man, I mean, let's do it that way. Boots on the ground is awesome.
I'm flexible, man. Like I said, the whole I'm going to drive for dollars. And I'm even interested in door knocking at one point. And did he just jump out? I guess it's the internet or something. He keeps jumping out.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying that I've knocked doors for less. So for me, like I'm even willing to do that, that's just how I feel and what I'm motivated to do. And I like talking to people. That's what I've always done for work. So for me, and I understand, generally speaking, like that it's like slice and dice, like, it could be a seller finance, it could be a sub 2, what are the levers? And like, we could probably give you the price, but I need the terms. And, I get the lingo. That's and there's people like, hey, if you just want to get out and you need the cash right now, well, then I'm going to need a deep discount because I'm not a buyer at these prices and this and that. I get the, so for me, the thing that I wanted to ask about more specifically, and by the way, I appreciate
Sure.
that and appreciate
No
you,
problem.
you know, willing to commit to us and trying to work
Yeah.
with us. So,
Yeah, for sure, man.
what I saw, I think there was like a training. I think it was when I joined the Facebook group. I got an email. I watched like a training video, and basically he said to do either batch leads or batch driven. I guess they're the same thing. And then just start making a list. So you think that's the next best approach, just making a list of like distressed properties, or you think it's like calling like for rents and seeing if they're willing to sell, or what do
Man,
you?
Yeah, that's a great question. With
I
you,
just
it's
want to keep it
different.
simple, you know, just pick one
Yeah.
thing and just you know,
Yeah,
after 100
yeah.
calls, reassess, you know, or
Yeah,
1,000
yeah.
calls, reassess.
No, with you, it's gonna be different, bro. And kind of cool that maybe he lost signal. He was driving. That's probably what happened. So he
Oh.
was telling me he was driving, so he probably lost signal. But oh, there he is. So let me let him in real quick. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So we're back. Okay, cool. So the the thing that I'm kind of like trying to come up with is I've been a marketer since 1998, and I've been doing the business since 1998. So I started way back when I was in Texas, and I was a kid at the time. So I've been around the block a couple times. So what I think is most effective right now. Go ahead.
I got.
Oh, you're cutting out, bro. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, what I was gonna suggest there to do in Central Florida is I got a ton of leads already. Like I have properties that, as a matter of fact, let's even just go through it, because it's one thing to talk and another to start doing. Let me see. Let me pull up some leads here. I have one in Lakeland right now, as a matter of fact. Let me give you an address. 941 Fish Hatchery Road. This is Lakeland. And I'm just looking at the lead. I just got this lead from
Interesting property
the
next to all
marketing
that
we're doing.
water.
Okay. I haven't even seen it. It just came in, literally. We do a ton of marketing. So we're spending a ton of money on marketing in Central Florida.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And so if you know, we can just, you get under contract, you know, I don't mind you taking over some leads and then you get them under contract. Like we can hop on the phone and I can help you with them or whatever. And then we pay you an assignment fee.
Right.
You wholesale them to us. No problem.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that at all.
Cool.
So
let's see if I pull it up on the property assessors.
So I'm just yeah, this is Vicky is the name of
one more
seller.
time. What was the
address?
Yeah.
Let me go back here. We got 941 Fish Hatchery Road. Fish Hatchery Road, Lakeland.
So are you using a program to find out, you know, seller or homeowner information, phone numbers?
Yeah.
I have the website for the property appraiser in Polk, which Lakeland is in Polk County. So it's polkpa.org. It's obviously not I'm probably tomorrow I'll sign up for the batch thing because apparently it just pulls all this information anyways, so that'll just save time.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay,
I have
so
a
last
batch
sale,
and I got prop stream.
last sale was 2015. Let's see here. Yeah, to a Mr. Matthew. That says the sale price was 100, so I guess that was a quick claim.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Q. Yeah, quick claim. Yep, that's what it says. But it says the sale price is pretty much always been like that. like just very low. So, you know,
Oh, okay.
what kind of lead was it?
I'm just reloading batch leads here.
Okay,
let's see.
it says it's a wood frame, single
Wood
family.
frame. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Building value, taxable value 63,000. So the property taxes, let's see, but that's based for the taxes. The
Okay.
taxes, it looks like they're 1050 yearly.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the wife was the one that submitted this to us.
Okay,
Let me.
she was an
me-
inbound lead.
Yeah, it's an inbound. This is inbound. We do both outbound and inbound. This one was inbound.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I could pull up.
So,
But the
okay, I'm
wife is
gonna.
on the thing because I only see his name on there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, in Florida, when somebody's married, at the time when they purchase,
Mm-hmm.
the wife is automatic, or the other spouse is automatically a part of the deed.
Heard. Yeah, I just got
Yeah.
married, so that's what I heard too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the property is. I like it. Let's see. I got access to the MLS here. I'm not an agent or anything like that. So, and I do that through, just so you guys know, I do it through Privy. So I signed up for Privy,
Okay.
and they get direct access to the MLS. And so
That's
on
awesome.
here, yeah. So that's a really nice tool. I would say I use Privy more than I use batch leads, or it's more useful to me because I get to see the value, the actual value that the realtor agents get to see. And so that is valuable to me because a lot of people have friends that are realtors and stuff like that. And so they'll go and ask them. And so I know what my competition is going to be saying to them. So this particular one, it's got a range for the CMA of 144 to 212. So what I like doing is I go to the AVM is 178. So I like going to try to see if we're gonna cash flow it. So I'm gonna type it on Zillow real quick.
To see for
I want to
rent.
see, yeah, to see the rents. I want to know that. See what we can cash flow here.
I'm not totally understanding, but it looks like the original construction was 1164 square feet, and now it's just shy of under 1300. But I don't like, I can see it says like the original construction is like an outline, but
Gotcha.
I don't know if there's an addition or if that's a sunroom or what that is.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we got this estimate here for the rent at 1318, and the
Okay.
estimated refi payment is 1,013. So it would cash flow with those numbers, which is good because probably their mortgage is below the estimated refi payment. Let me see what that estimation is. So they're probably paying here. They're not paying anything. They probably own it free and clear.
Right.
I
'Cause it
don't
was
see a
quick
loan
claim.
here. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call this lead, guys.
Sure.
Let's get to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me see phone number here. Okay. And that way, if she says, "Hey, come see it" or whatever, come check it out, then you can go out there. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
today. Let's make
Yeah,
it happen.
literally.
First
Yeah.
deal, first day. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I got time. So
All right. Let's see here. Pull up my VoIP number. Let's see. I'm gonna call from a 407 number here. 863-6265. Okay. Just signal me on the screen if you can't hear it.
I'm good right now.
You've reached 513-6265. Please.
Okay, I'm gonna try a different phone number here. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. She sent a text message here. 20, what is today? Okay, she said she won't be available until the 20th here. No problem. The use of a CRM is vital. I'm sure you guys know that. So I have this one called Pipe Drive. I love that CRM because it just keeps things so neat and organized. So I'm just gonna go put some notes here real quick. Analyzed.
Is it tailored
you-
to real estate, that CRM?
Yeah, specifically for wholesaling. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try her back. Appointments. It's got it does automations, and so it's just fantastic because it's texting people, it's emailing people, and that type of stuff, all on its own. Okay, let's check out a new one here. Okay, I got okay, this is outbound. Let's see. Okay, this one I did not move it out of the pipeline where I have it. I need to there. St. Cloud. Okay, let's see this one here.
Where's that at?
St. Cloud.
Yeah, I'm new to Central.
Yeah, St. Cloud. It's closer to. Let me see. I'm looking at the map here. Let me tell you exactly. I think it's near Point Siena. Yeah, it is. It's just southeast of Kissimmee.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's,
So, yeah,
it's
this-
probably like an even point between you and I, but south for
Right.
you and what and east for me.
Right. Yeah. So let me call this one Patrice. We have somebody that helps us with cold calling, and
Like a VA.
he
or
spoke
what do
to
you mean?
her. Yeah, kind of like a VA, but it's more like a. Yeah, it's kind of like a VA. We would say VA. Yeah. Patrice, she's interested in selling. Property is currently vacant. Oh, that's good. Roof needs repair. Does not have any numbers yet. Let's call this one. Let me give you the address. You can take a look at it. 2709 10th Street, St. Cloud. Let me take a look at the Zillow real quick while you pull that up. Oh, nice. Oh, she just bought it. So she's probably like a investor, some sort.
I mean, is it under
That's
an
good to know.
LLC?
I'm gonna go look now.
And it looks like Jersey plates on that car, from what I can tell, even though it's blurred out on Google. But
Oh, okay. All right, let's see here. Her name is no LLC. That's good.
so what do you think? Bit off more than she could chew, maybe?
Maybe so. Yeah. She bought it just 3 months ago. She paid cash. Let's see here. Oh, probably. Yeah, she's paying she's supposed to be paying $6,000 a month on payments.
No,
Yeah.
no way.
So she's got to sell her carry back. Okay, let's see what she's got going on. Opportunity comes from chaos. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Where is it? 2, 4, 8, 5. 2, 5. Can you hear that ring?
Mhm.
Hello, you've reached the voicemail of Patrice tonight. If you're calling about a rental, please dial 321-222-9262.
Yeah, she's like she's got properties, so that's good. Try her back later. I always make notes, like I do something, I put it on my CRM because I come back and I can kind of see what I've been doing. Because I forget. She sounds like a property manager or landlord. Batch says she pays $6,000 per month. Mortgage. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna move her to my area where it's like, I always try to gauge how motivated I am to get this deal. So in this one, I'm like, I could do without, because I have other leads. So on this one, I'm just gonna say a 6-month nurture. Move on to the next one. Are you willing to drive over to D-Land?
Yeah, less frequently though, that the things are than something that was in Polk County. Like something like Polk County, I could go like same day, next day. But like D-Land, because like my mom's out there. I mean, she's in Deltona, so like I would make a day out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't.
we have somebody there. I'm gonna call her right now. Her name is Sandra, and I need to really knock on her door because she has all kinds of issues, and she's not picking up the phone. So she was in jail and she's out on bail. She was supposed to be out on bail, and she just came out of jail to sell her house, hire an attorney, and try to stay out of jail, because she has no money. She's on Social Security. She's older. So she's like a fantastic lead. And the property needs a ton of work. Like the roof is leaking. And so if I would say, bless you, if I
Thank you.
say like there's an opportunity to make like a quick transaction, is going to be this one, because so it might be worth just sort of driving and kind of knocking on the door.
Like I said, I'm not opposed. It's just not as easy. It's not as
I got
it's
you.
not a just a immediate yes. I don't have to think about it. Like it's more like, okay, tomorrow morning at 9.
Sure,
You know?
gotcha, man.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Let me call her. Let's see if she's gonna pick up. She's been what I'm afraid of is
This is Sandra Cartuano.
yeah, what I'm afraid of is that she got arrested again and she's back in jail. So, or maybe because she told me she couldn't pay her bills. So just trying to figure out what to do with her, because this is a fantastic lead. She'll let go of the house for like pennies on the dollar. Like literally, this is going to be a great deal. Of course, we have to flip it. We have to fix it and flip it and do all this type of stuff. But man, just try to figure out how we can get this deal done. Let me see. Tried calling. Went straight.
So how did you speak to her last?
It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
To
And
voicemail.
a phone call?
Yeah, several phone calls. Yeah, several. Okay, let's see. Let's take this one here. This one here is in, I know I'm just flying through leads here, but it's what I do every single day, man. I just get on. I just want to talk to people, you know. I'm not good at cold calling. I mean, I'm good at cold calling, but I'm just not good at having the patience to cold call. I just want to talk to people that I already know that they're willing to sell. Because even then, you don't connect with everybody. So this one here is in North Carolina, 2409 Valley.
North
Haven.
Carolina, you said?
Yeah. 2409 Valley Haven Drive, Raleigh. Let's see. I'm gonna
That
put it
looks
on.
nice.
Does it? Okay. Check it out here.
Yeah, it's got a lot of eaves and good house architecture, 2-story.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it looks really nice. So the rent's estimate is 1,800, and the estimated refi payment is 2,320. So it wouldn't cash flow with those numbers. Let me go on batch and see if they got a mortgage. Okay, so this is an inheritance property here. So they probably don't live there and they just want to get rid of it. That's good. It's really good. Loan, no loan. Okay. Let me go ahead and call. One last thing. Let me see if I can put it on Privy and see if they got access to the MLS up in North Carolina.
And where did this lead come from?
This one came from, let me check here, Facebook ads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's just a normal, we do a lot of tweaking with the ads and everything else. But this one is, I think we're angling this one towards creative financing. So we're saying we're not going to lowball you and that type of stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. Wholesaling, like marketing for wholesaling has evolved a lot because people will look at the ad. And so if you're saying, hey, you know, cash for keys and that type of thing, people recognize those ads as wholesaling ads and they'll make fun of you online and that type of stuff. But if we say, hey, you know, we can give you a fair cash offer, that type of thing, closer to retail, then you get people who are really interested. And then, you know, we talk to them and we end up like saying, hey, this is your cash offer, which is a wholesale offer. And then this is going to be a terms offer, which is closer to retail. So just depending on the situation. So this one here says retail value or the ARV might be closer to between 400 and 469. Let me see what Zillow says. 399 on Zillow. Zillow is probably what they look at. And so they go to Zillow and say, hey, I wonder what I can sell this for. So they have that number in their head. I'm going to realtor.com now because it's owned by the National Association of Realtors. And so that their figure is a lot more accurate most of the time. And so they're at 366.
But what is
that's
that?
good for me.
what is that? What are they basing that off of? Is that that's not an offer, right? That's just like their automated appraisal.
That's right. Yeah, it's like a CMA. It's like a CMA. Yeah. So, but it's good for me to use that when I talk to them, because I'll say, hey, look, the realtor association says, which is realtor.com, they say that your house is closer to 366 rather than 399, which is what Zillow has it at, so it's good for negotiating with the seller. Now I just looked at the privy directly at the MLS, and the MLS says that we could go up to 469. So if we get it for 366, all of a sudden we have a wholesale deal. So I'm gonna make the call now and see what they say, because they may be at 500K, and then it's definitely not a deal, but it could be a terms deal. And I bet you they're in Florida, these guys.
How much above are you normally willing to go on a terms deal? Like, what's the norm? Like, where's I'm kind of new to the creative finance, so it's like I understand the concept, but it's like where I don't know how involved.
Sure.
Or is it
sure.
just
Yeah, it depends. It really depends on the agreement we make. But a rule of thumb will be the higher the price that they want above market or whatever, the longer the terms. So let's just say with this one, they want, let's say they want the 500K, right? And we can say, okay, well, you're definitely way above market value because we're at 366. Most wholesalers will walk away from that. But let's just say during the conversation, she tells me, hey, well, it was my dad's house. I've never been there. That's what, somebody told me. I looked on Zillow and that's what I want. But truthfully, I just take whatever within reason, right? So if they say something like that, I'll say, okay, let me work on that number. Let me work on the 500,000. A lot of people want to lock these properties in like during the first phone call, but I don't like doing that. I like them to get used to me. And then I want them to expect a call, say tomorrow or something. So I go work on it. I already know, so I put it on the notes. When I come back tomorrow and make the call again, then I'll just say, hey, I worked on it. And I'm pretty much at 340, 320 even. And they'll say, no, that's too much. I was thinking you were going to say something like 480. Okay, 480. Is that your bottom? And then you start negotiating, blah, blah, blah. And so let's just say he says, you know what? Never mind. I asked a real estate agent and they really say that I'm going to get 500. Then you're really into a conversation about terms deals because they're not going to budge. And so to answer your question, if I'm going 140,000 over what I think I need to get it at, then I'm going to say, look, you need to finance this to me so I can give you, I can give you good terms, you'll cash flow it. You're making money in your sleep. Like Pay says, I'll upgrade you to be the banker. You're literally taking the role of a bank on this deal and you're making money in your sleep. So are you open to doing that? Right. And a lot of people, they say yes. And then that's when you kind of have to be really creative and say something like, okay, let's do it. How much do you want to receive per month? Because this is a free and clear house. So then they'll tell you, well, if I'm getting, like $1,000 a month, I'm good. Right. I'm good. Okay. And then you're like, how long? And that's like the last question I'll ask. So a lot of people will say, well, the sharks will tell you, well, I was thinking 6 months. I'm like, I'm not getting a hard money loan from you. You're like the bank, you need to think in terms of like 30 years or something. Oh, no, I can't do 30 years. Well, how long can you do? Then they'll tell you, well, we can do 15 years. then at that point, you know that you're going to get the appreciation in 15 years. And you can say, okay, if your terms are 15 years at 1,000 a month, I think I can do that. So we can do a 30-year loan, or we could do like a 40-year loan with a balloon payment at 15 years, right? And now you have a deal. Now you're like, I can refinance it in 15 years because I know I can go from 366 where it's at today to 480 or 500 that he wants in 15 years. I can appreciate it, right? It will appreciate. I can continue to have tenants or whatever, or I can sell it. You can kind of pre-plan. If it's too much, you can pre-plan to sell it as a lease option or something like that. You get a tenant buyer, they bring down a down payment, and then you give them a term to where they cash you out at 550, let's say, when you are at the, say, 10-year mark, right? Because this guy just won't budge. He wants to be cashed out at 15 years or whatnot. But the rule of thumb is the longer or the higher the price on a terms deal, the longer the terms. That's pretty much it. So that's, that's kind of like what I do. And that's what I'm thinking most of the time when I'm making these calls. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about a wholesale deal, and then I'm thinking about the creative side as well. So as I go through the conversation, I'm listening for both and which story is going to fit better for the seller. So let's just kind of put it into practice now. I'm going to call them and let's see where they're at. 332-83. And again, this one came from Facebook. So it's an easier call.
Please leave your message for 9193.
They're not picking up today. They typically do. I'm going to text her. Okay. So what do you guys do for a living?
I work building maintenance at a high school in Egg Harbor Township. So I take care of the whole HVAC and boilers and everything like that.
Oh man, that's great experience for real estate.
I'm very knowledgeable in, all residential and commercial buildings, the ins and outs. And I feel like I have that advantage in checking properties out, things like that. That's why it's, something that I really like to get my foot in the door with.
Why don't you, here's a suggestion, okay, only a suggestion. Why don't you connect with other people in the group local to you and say, hey, if you need me to take a look at your systems, I will. Like, I'll take a look at your systems and give you like what I'm thinking as far as like what it's going to cost you to repair it and stuff. And then that way you're connecting with people who are flippers or potential flippers. And then you can be
my inspection license, but I didn't know about, like everybody says, well, that's going to get another job, things, but that will be a good way to add value to the group, like you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, because that would be like, that is like super value that you can provide them. And if they'll allow you to look at, like Pace always says, like you want to do stuff for other people who are already, having deal flow. That's the biggest thing. That's the thing that I would say is the hardest thing about real estate is creating deal flow to where you can sit on in front of your computer and you have people to call. You have people who have already raised their hands and said, hey, I'm willing to sell. I'm willing to have a conversation. That right there it takes so much effort because you're, first of all, trial and error. Is this going to work? This virtual assistant, can cold call for me, but then they don't show up. And then you have to train them. And then you don't know what to train them on because you're trying to do it yourself. So then you quit that. And then and then you're trying to cold call yourself, and then you're trying to text message, and then so it just turns into like a year before you really start your systems dialed in to where you're consistently getting deal flow in, and then you can do what we're doing today, which is just making calls to people who have said, I'm willing to sell, right? Or I need to sell. So the easiest way really to get into real estate is to make yourself available, like we're talking this morning, for somebody like you. I mean, that expertise that you have, bro, I'm telling you that is so needed for people who already have deal flow. They already went through that, and they maybe did a deal or two, so they have a little bit of money, and you can come in literally in your market, and you can say, hey, here's how I can add value to you. I can go, like Tony was saying, I can go and I can be your boots on the ground. I can quickly tell you, the condition of the house, and then I can tell you what you're going to have to spend on, the AC, and, you can do commercial, you can do residential. And so you can kind of tell them this is, and then give them tips, because you can probably save somebody a ton of money if you tell them, hey, look, you don't need to replace this unit. Because like me, for example, when I was flipping a lot, the AC was a pain in the rear end to me, because, bro, I don't know anything about AC. So what I did is I would just replace them, because that's what the contractor was telling me. And I knew that he was trying to just get paid, And so his recommendation was all the time, well, you need to replace it. And it was such a pain, man. That was like, I hated that, because I knew nothing about it. That and the electrical.
Yeah, that's a great idea, man.
Yeah. And you can literally bring people value, and then they can say, you know what, you're doing this for me. You're literally saving me, $5,000, because I don't have to replace the whole unit. So you're saving me $5,000. So let's split this deal, and, like 80-20, so 80-20, on a $10,000 assignment fee, I would imagine in New Jersey, now you're making money. And all you're doing is just using your expertise that you already have, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of industries cater to real estate, and so most people out there have a certain expertise that is of benefit to investors already, like you. That's why I asked you what you did, because I'm like, man, I bet you guys already are closer to a deal than you realize. So
Yeah, for myself, two things. I know you had asked the question, but the first thing I wanted to say is I put in the chat just some addresses off the top of my head that I remember, of distressed looking properties in my area, like Winter Haven, Auburndale. I put those in there. I don't know if you want to call them or if we just want to look at them or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I've always been in hospitality. So that's for me, mostly what I've done. I did a bit of door knocking for 6 months. Jesus, I forget what we even sold, but I know it was like $30. So imagine, if that was like a sale, and if you got like 5 sales in a day, then you got a bonus. If you got 10 sales in a day, you got a bonus. At the time, I was like right out of high school, so I was like, this is cool and different and interesting. The only issue, the reason that it didn't work for me is because it was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and the winter came, and then you can't door knock.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It's just too cold. People don't answer, and it's just, and I'm like, you guys don't work like 6 months out of the year? They're like, no. And I'm like, I gotta go. I'm not with that program. I was like, that would have been nice to know before I moved all the way up here. But But yeah, I just always been in hospitality. I'm just recently got a gig. Since you said, Ben, you're familiar with Central Florida, I'm serving at Disney Springs at the Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So money in like these types of obviously I got a baby and I'm paying off debt and stuff, and I'm trying to get a house. But I'm honestly open to get my own house seller finance, which is a cool thing. So I'm not lying when I'm telling these people that I am a buyer. But
right.
they have some servers there that, not everybody, I'll tell you that much, but they have servers there that do 6 figures. So I know I'll be okay
That's
as far
awesome.
as money and
Yeah.
but that's always what I've done. So I'm good talking to people, and you know, I have one job that I have like 24 reviews with my name in it, and even ones that say that everything
Sweet.
sucked about everything except for
Yeah.
the dude who took care of us. So for me, I'm pretty good with people and understanding and listening.
Mhm.
You know, like the way I have it on my resume is like I'm able to have like control goal or oriented conversations.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like talking to people is not going to be a big deal. And I actually been you have the same birthday as my mom, but your birthday's 2 days after mine. So
Oh,
we're
wow.
probably like that. Yeah, we're both Pisces. So, you know, we tend to relate with
That's
people
awesome.
and kind of chameleon with people. So
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, I would say the greatest skill that you can have as a real estate professional is to know how to relate to people,
for sure.
you know, and
Building
like,
rapport and stuff.
yeah, man, how to build that trust, because people do business with people whom they like and they trust,
For sure.
you know. So I used to be a server. I started as a server. I was working at the Olive Garden. This is in Phoenix. Before I joined the military, I was in the Navy, and so I used to have the same thing. And I remember talking to a bunch of people with money, and then they gave me some pointers. Like, this is back in the day, like Google was not even around,
Wow.
and so I couldn't look up anything online. So I just used to go just off of people's experiences and stuff. So from there, I went and I worked at in Scottsdale, like really rich place, a private airport, and I met like a lot of rich people there. And I asked them, because there's no internet, so there's no way to look up things. You would have to buy books and things, you know. So I would ask them. I remember talking to a lot of rich people and just asking them, "Hey, how do I make money?" And I was just working the line check. My job was just to carry their bags, and I love that job. I got it by design, because I wanted to interact with people who thought, you know, about money and stuff. And so I asked them. I said, "Hey, how do I make money?" I met the owner of GoDaddy. I met the 49ers owner. I met, you know, CEOs from like Target and stuff like that. I met Britney Spears. I met Paris Hilton. I met Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan. And I always asked them the question, like, how do I make money? And the one thing that everybody told me that was that they had in common, it was just like, keep doing what you're doing. Just ask people. And then eventually you'll stumble upon something that connects with you and that you will enjoy. And that was for me real estate. And that's when I'm like, okay, I think real estate is going to be my thing, you know? And so then I just started looking into things. I actually started with tax liens and tax deeds. That's what I really, really like. But creative financing is similar to me in the way that you structure the deal, because you're buying at low LTV. You guys familiar with LTV?
Loan to value.
Yeah, loan to value. So you buy down low LTV for a great reward, you know, so for a great asset. So if we can come in and put down, you know, 10% or less of the value of the house, and we can cash flow it, why wouldn't I do it? Even if the retail value is lower, or actually, yeah, lower than the debt, you know, than the debt payment, I don't care, because I can cash flow it. And I know that appreciation is going to take care of me. And my taxes, and that's key, my taxes are going to be really, really great, because if the value of the house is lower than the payment, right? Than what I owe, and I'm like underwater, then I can claim that as a loss. So I'm at a loss every time, you know, and so I can claim it. I can deduct a bunch of stuff. So it just depends on the knowledge that you have in real estate, how you're going to do deals. So, but yeah, I would say customer service, and just being out there and talking with people, and then applying that to all the calls. And like what I was saying with you, Sean, that if you just do that same thing, apply your skills, you know, and then if you throw in like like just a willingness to help people, man, it's like, that's how you get deals. You get deals because people see that you are just trying to help them. You know, that's what really sells, is being of help. So that's why I do this. I've been doing this for a while. I've been helping people for a long time. Sometimes I go on the chats and different Facebook groups and stuff, and I see people struggling, posting all the time, not getting answers or whatever. So I'll just send them a message and say, hey, if you need help, here's my phone number. Jump on the call. Like yesterday, I was coaching a girl. She's in West Palm, and she's like, nobody's ever told me this before. And I said, well, you know, just go do a deal and send me 10%. And she's like, are you serious? I'm like, if you want to, if it helped you, send me some money, you know, give me some love. And she says,
Right.
okay, no problem. So anyway, so I got this lead here now. This is in a PopCom. So I'm going to call this one now. She just said she's available, but I want to look up the value here real quick before I call her.
What address you got for that one?
This is, let me see here. This is 2304 Carriage Point Loop. Oh, beautiful house. Look at that. Cool. Oh, it's listed. Okay, let's see. I like these ones too, because it means that they're getting worried that they can't sell it.
And so that was inbound though?
Yeah, this is inbound. They dropped the price 20K, 655. Let's see who the agent is. Avon Neptune.
Yeah, I don't have anything on what is it? Google my business. It's not or Google Maps. It's not coming up for me. I don't have a
Oh,
good
really?
picture. Yeah, for me.
Okay. If you go to Zillow, there's a ton of pictures there. Okay, let's see what realtor.com says. Okay. Oh, they don't give you the estimate here. They'll just give you the listing price. The estimated 681 to 723. Well, obviously it's not selling at 723. So we need to be at, it is not selling at 655. So they're obviously wrong. Very aggressively priced. Okay, let's see why they're not selling. What I like to do is I like to call the agent. So I'm going to try to call the agent here, 310 57.
So far, every agent I've spoken to, they're just super nice. So
Yeah, agents, you know, I respect them a lot because they're if we approach them the right way, they can be a huge asset. Really
yeah,
huge.
it's almost like they're advocating for you.
That's right. That's right. So I'm gonna dial, what is it, 407 0069.
Thank you for calling Young Real Estate. Please hold while I connect you with one of our realtors. This call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. Thank you for calling Young Real Estate. This is Sammy. How may I help you?
Yes, may I speak to Avon, please? Evan. He's got a list.
What's the last name?
Neptune.
Okay, let me go ahead and give you his telephone number. He can actually be reached out directly. If I can just place you on a brief hold.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. 1 second.
No problem.
Okay, the telephone number we have for Evan Neptune is 407
Mm-hmm.
280
Mm-hmm.
8980.
8980. Okay. And that's his cell phone number, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I'll give him a call. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Likewise. Bye-bye. Okay, let's call him. Evan 407 280 8980. It's on a family trust, a living trust. I don't think he's gonna pick up. They've got a mortgage.
Thank you for calling Evan Neptune Real Estate
Hold
Sales
it.
Professional.
It is
No.
a beautiful looking house.
Yeah, it's beautiful. No one is picking up this morning. You know why? Because it's Monday morning and people are trying to get caught up and stuff. But let me call the owner
Whoa.
now.
3,800 square feet is huge.
Yeah, it's beautiful house. Let me see if I can call her.
85 monthly. Oh my gosh, those taxes though. It's 85 monthly HOA, but the annual tax is 6,175. That's like $500 a month.
Yep, it's expensive to be rich. That's for sure.
Hey, like some of the property taxes in New Jersey would be close to like 10,000, and the houses aren't even that big.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. My in-laws, they just moved from Sussex County, man. Their taxes were like 10,000.
It's nuts.
Your call
you-
has been forwarded to an automated voice message.
Okay.
I was gonna ask who you were calling.
Yeah, I was calling the owner. So first, I called the agent. The agent didn't answer, so I was just calling the owner now. Just trying to figure out why they can't sell this house. It's very intriguing. Typically, when they can't sell it like this, and they got an agent, and she's trying to sell it, she's like motivated to sell it, so she's reaching out to people like us and that type of thing. That indicates like some sort of like huge distress. They have a
Right.
real need to sell it. So I need to be aggressive with this one. I'm gonna text her now. Okay, I'm gonna put a note here. Calling, no answer, called agent, no answer, can't sell it for some reason in a family Trust.
It's tough because you look at listings right now and it's just price cut, price cut.
I know. It's been happening for sure. Yeah, it's definitely, in my opinion, in I'm no expert, okay? So I literally guarantee you that pretty much everybody has a higher IQ than I do. So I'm no expert, but my opinion of it is that it's going to turn into a buyer's market here pretty soon. Okay, so she said call her back. All right. We got somebody that we're going to talk to.
Yeah, I went and looked at a duplex the other day,
Mhm.
and they're asking, it was just an insane amount of money for what the house was, and it's like, okay, like
Yeah.
you can't even. It's like
Yeah.
they wanted like $300,000 for this tiny little. They turned into a duplex. I mean, it's nice that duplex, and I think it still would have cash flowed, but the amount of money you're paying for it was absolutely insane.
But what about the terms? Look at the terms, like how long, like you can tell them exactly what you told me right now and say, hey, look, this is a disaster. Like, this is not good. This is not good. It's in a C neighborhood and stuff. It's going to have a tough time selling, that type of thing. If you give me long enough terms, I'm willing to move forward with it, you know, and you can just ask for like something insane, like 50 years,
Yeah.
you know, and they'll tell you, never mind, you know, I can't do 50 years. I might think about doing 20.
Yeah.
Well, if you do 25, you have a deal. And I want you to notice one thing, as I've been kind of like giving you these examples. I never bring up interest. Like if they don't, or down payment, right? So if they don't bring up down payment and they don't bring up interest, then why should I bring it up? Because if I can get it for 0 down and 0 interest, bro, it's game over.
Absolutely.
That's what you want.
So then is that something that's gonna like hit the table with the contract, and they go, oh well, wait a minute. I mean, obviously, yeah, every circumstance is different. That may happen, and then they say, oh well, I want down payment, or I want, you know, interest.
Yeah, and you know what you do? So
Factory.
in that case, what you should look up, like if you're in that situation, you should go on like how mortgages negotiate with people that owe them back payments. So if you're behind on your payments on your house, how do they deal with it? And the biggest 2 things that help a potential or an owner that's behind on payments is to do a modification of the loan. And that typically what that happens is that they put what's owed on the back of the loan. So you could do the same thing. You can say, hey, so a down payment and let's say interest. Well, how much do you want for, you know, interest here? Well, I was thinking 10%. And then you can just reply and say 10%. Okay, work with me. Do you see what the Fed is at? The Fed is at 5 right now. And you're asking me for 10. Like, can I just give you like what the Fed is saying that we should be paying for interest, which is 5? You know, maybe I can give you 4, make it nice for me, let me like make some money. So I can do it for 4.
But that's
and
the
let's
thing
say they
too.
say
It's like
4.
they're like levers though. If they're insistent on interest, you know, then it's just like, okay, then if you're dead set on this, then work with me on the price. No, the price is set. All right, then work with me on the length of the loan.
That's
then,
right.
You know, yeah.
That's right. You go back and forth. That's right. And let's just say you agreed now to, let's say, to 4%. Then what you could do, and I think Pace has a video on this. You should look it up. Which is okay. So you just say, okay, so you're financing 300 grand for me times 4%. That is what, 16,000 or something. So let's attach that also to the back of the loan, right? So that you're still buying it with 0% down and 0% interest, right? So now you just added 16 grand to the overall total, but you're not paying, you're not doing what's called a amortization of the loan, which is you're paying the interest every month. that's not a good deal. You never should amortize when you're buying. You should amortize when you sell, but not when you buy, because
Wait, I missed
want.
that. I missed that. I was looking at a Zillow. Can you say, because I thought all the deals were amortized.
Well, you should never offer that you can pay based on amortization schedule. You should never do that. You shouldn't offer it. You should just say, look, I will give you the interest, but I gotta attach it to the back of the loan. Okay, if you want interest, I gotta just add it to the loan. I can't pay you interest on a monthly amortized basis, right? And if that's not a deal for you, then that's not a deal for me, and then you should be willing to walk away at that point, because we can't have our loans amortized, because we're going to be overpaying and we're not going to cash flow. The whole point of doing that deal is to cash flow it. And if it's amortized, you're losing part of your monthly cash flow. So why do it? If you're going from like $300 in cash flow a month to like 120 because you're amortizing a loan, then what if there's a catastrophe that happens? Then you're not cash flowing, you're in the negative, so then you're truly doing it for like $20 or something, because you have to account that your deal can go sour very quickly. So I never offer, that's why I never offer the seller any type of interest or anything like that. Or if we do talk about the interest, I steer them away from it being amortized. Because if it does, it just doesn't make sense for me. There's other deals that we can do. And then he'll come back eventually and say, okay, you can attach the interest to the back of the loan. So always keep that in mind.
I mean, I don't want to keep talking about theory and stuff, but so if you're attaching it to the back, if you're going to attach it to the back of the loan, you're basically just increasing the purchase price.
Bingo. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I have a foreclosure here that was on Zillow 21 days ago. It is a manufactured home. It looks like it could use a little love, but it's not it's not in like terrible shape. I feel like I've seen it, but I don't recognize it. I have a number here. I don't know if.
Yeah, we can call them. Let me call this lady. She's waiting on my call, and then we can call that one.
Awesome.
Daphne.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Daphne.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for asking. Do you have a good weekend?
I did. Thank you. And you?
Yeah, it was pretty short. They always are.
Yeah. Always short.
Yeah. So thank you for submitting your information there through the Facebook webpage. My
husband actually did it for me, but yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay. So yeah, I checked out the property and everything else. I went to Zillow to see it. Beautiful house. I mean, this is like gorgeous.
Yeah, the pictures didn't do it justice, but it is a very nice home.
Yeah. What's the story? How come you want to get rid of such a beautiful home?
Well, we got into a really bad contract with the mortgage, and we are just trying to get out of it.
Oh, gotcha.
And also, we're trying to relocate by next year. So we're just trying to, number one, get rid of this mortgage, and then number two, the proceed would be going to the next home where we would be really relocating.
Well, yeah, certainly the mortgage can be a huge pain. So tell me, what's going on with the mortgage? What are they doing? Is it like one of those mortgages that the interest changes all the time?
Well, no. To be honest with you, we actually have a lawyer involved with the selling process. And what it is, it's not your traditional mortgage loan.
Mm-hmm.
It was through a program that we signed up for, and after a little bit before we completely signed on we did closing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that was promised to us is not what was given. And being that we had already invested so much money into building this property and and also gave down deposit to that lender,
Wow.
we were stuck basically in, just taking the home and then figuring it out later. But
Mm-hmm.
in the end, we ended up still, having to get a lawyer to get out of the contract.
Gotcha.
It's one of those weird situations. It deals with Bitcoins and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's actually under investigation as we speak. So everything is being monitored right now with the process. They are assisting us in trying to sell the property.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we can be completely done with this lender.
Gotcha. So the lender is not a traditional bank.
No,
Gotcha.
not at all.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're promoting themselves as it, but it's not. And we were victims of that, unfortunately.
Okay. But did they give you a loan, or did they sell you the house as with financing?
Again, it was one of those weird situations. So
Mm-hmm.
it is like a loan, if you want to say. Yes, it is a loan. They purchased the home. We were paying them monthly as if it was a mortgage, but they didn't want to call it a mortgage.
Wow.
They kept them calling it like a membership fee or something like that. But again, which is what makes it even more complicated because it wasn't a mortgage. But as of right now, once we sell, they are to take the $400 that they invested into the home.
Gotcha. So let me ask you a question. If we said let's move forward and let's do the purchase, how are we going to satisfy that lien? We're just gonna pay off what's owed that mortgage, and then that's gonna go away. How is that going to work?
Well, once we go into contract, for potential buyer, we notify our lawyer in regards to that.
Mm-hmm.
And as we prepare documents, I guess, for closing, on her end, she'll be making sure that they know this is the portion that they'll be getting. It's sort of like, let's say we had a traditional mortgage, whatever the balance is, it would be just as if paying it. The only thing is we just have an assistant as the lawyer assisting us, making sure everything goes smoothly. So yes, it would be the same title still involved and making sure all parties get what they're supposed to or entitled to.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Do we have an idea how much we have to pay as a payoff amount?
The payoff amount right now is $401,000.
401,000.
Yes, which is what they initially put into the home.
Okay.
Which is ridiculous because all the money we were paying was not being deducted out of that balance.
Gotcha.
So you could only imagine why we had to get out of it.
Yeah, I can see that. And you're selling it right now. You have it advertised at $655. You have a price cut there of $20,000. So I imagine, so if I do 5 or 655 minus 400, so you're trying to walk away with roughly $200,000.
I mean, if we can, we would definitely want to.
Mm-hmm.
My husband, who's the agent on this, he, we're kind of open to negotiating. Mm-hmm. So we just want this. We just want out of this.
Yeah.
So it is negotiable.
It is negotiable. Okay. Very. I'm sorry to hear that you've had so many difficulties with this lender.
Yeah.
yeah, I can kind of work on this. I'm gonna try to get you to the see how close we can get to the 200,000 that you want to walk away with. So I'll do a little bit of due diligence, and what I can do, I called Avon because I did see it on or even, how do you pronounce his name? Even?
It's
Evan. So I called him, left him a message. So he's got my cell phone number, and this is also my cell, so you can call me as well.
Okay.
Do you guys have any offers, any interest right now on it?
When we first initially put it on the market, and we had noticed that the trending was actually shifting for buyers that were interested. So we did started to get calls of wanting to see the property, but then something drastic changed where the interest rate, people were like, we're taking a pause. We're like, what's happening?
Yeah, I know.
we were getting attracted.
Yeah.
Everybody giving us the same answer, like, okay, the interest rate, we want to wait. You know, like,
yeah.
And then for the price of the home too, it is up there for for the community that we're in. So we totally understand.
Yeah. It's kind of like catching a falling knife right now. because the market has definitely shifted. Initially, I thought that the market was going to be at kind of like leveling a little bit, but it's not. It's actually declining.
Yeah, we definitely noticed that.
Yeah. I thought it was just going to level, and then people were going to be like, okay, so it's leveling. Let's see if it's going to go down or if it's going to go up. You know, kind of like the stock market graph. You know that you see. But no, this is definitely declining. So it is a bit like catching a falling knife. So on our end, what we have to estimate is like, okay, you've had it listed for about 30 days, and initially it was listed closer to 700,000. Which, when I looked at the MLS estimates. And you should have sold that property. I mean, actually, and I can tell you, you should have sold that property for about 710,000 in the previous market from three.
And that's what we're anticipating.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's what we're. And then again, all the connections, even his buddies that are in the same real estate, like, they're having a hard time. The buyers are wanting to pause. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Even when we dropped the price, we thought that it would change. The ones that were still interested at the time, the interest rate just was not working for them.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's why now we've turned into companies like yours who wants to do cash offers. Just in case.
That's right. Yeah. We're definitely getting.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a ton of people contacting us. I'm looking at my schedule today, and just over the weekend, we got 25 owners wanting to sell their homes to us. So I have to go through them. I have to kind of run the numbers and everything else. But I'll definitely, because the house is beautiful. Okay, there's no question about that. And there are
some parts that we didn't really take the photos of. It is not gated. It is fenced. The property is fenced. It is sort of on a corner lot, so the yard is pretty big. So we can get a chance to really capture that. It's really a nice property, and I wish that we were in a rush to put it on the market. To have it, but if you need it like a 3D tour, we can arrange that. I don't know if you had planned on sending someone, which is fine too. So you just let us know what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely do a little bit of digging here, and I am glad that you guys understand the situation that we're in, because if the market continues to decline, I mean, here's what I'm looking at. can we sell this for 600,000? You know, if it continues to decline, are we gonna be in a situation to where are we gonna be at 600,000? And then maybe sell, you know? So I appreciate that you understand that what the market is doing, etc. So let me do some digging and let me see what we can come up with. And then I will call you guys back, let's say towards the end of the week, if that's okay with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Daphne. I'll be in touch.
Okay. You can text. Texting is actually much easier.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes if I notice a number that's not registered in my phone, I may ignore it, but text message, I'll definitely respond right away.
Sure.
This is the number that you have, and I can save it.
Yeah, this is my direct phone number here. And let me see if I can send you a text message now. To make sure that you are getting it. Let's see, 5730 is your number, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And quick question.
Sure.
You had asked if we were, you know, wanting to quote 7 days. If that is possible, we would love to, you know, to be able to do that. If you, you know, once you run your numbers and it works out for you, we would definitely want to do a quick closing.
Quick closing, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I will definitely try to move as fast as possible with this.
Okay.
Let me ask you one quick question that I just thought about. If you're not able to sell it, would you rent it? What would you do?
Well, I mean, there's nothing we can do but wait.
Gotcha.
So our lawyer and their lawyer are basically at a, you know, standstill. They can't do anything because it's, you know, the property's on the market. And, you know, they have to communicate through our lawyer. We have enough evidence on them to, you know, make them have to wait for the property to sell. So it would be a matter of just sitting and waiting.
Yeah.
I think we spoke to her a few days ago, actually, Friday. She told us nothing will happen. It's just they're just going to have to wait so that they sell the property.
Gotcha. Okay. And if we come in, we buy it, what do you think we can rent it for?
Say that again?
What do you think we can rent this for? Like if we bought it and we turned it into like a rental property and, you know, we decided to put some tenants in there.
After my check, my husband might know the accurate number. We're talking about maybe 3,200.
Okay. 32.
It might be a little bit more, between 3,200 and 3,500 a month.
Okay. All right.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. And I'm just obviously just asking to kind of get an idea. I'll dig deep into the numbers and see what we can do. How much would your mortgage payment be? Like if, let's just say you were there was no problem or anything, you were able to make mortgage payments, or is that even an option with these guys?
Well, when we first started, we did start with a traditional lender, and at the time we were at about 3.8 interest rate, so our mortgage would have been around 2,700 a month.
Okay.
At the time.
Okay. I'm just kind of getting an idea for the financing on our end.
But with interest rate right now, I know it's definitely not.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be different for sure. Okay, so sounds good. I got some good details here. I'm gonna go and kind of work on some numbers and stuff, do a little digging, and like I said, we can probably talk again, let's say Wednesday.
Okay, that works.
Okay, well, you got it. I appreciate your time, Daphne, and we'll be talking soon.
All right, thank you so much for reaching out.
No problem. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Did you guys hear the desperation in her voice?
Yeah.
That was wild. Say again.
That's a shame,
I know it's a shame because I don't think we can do anything with she's got Bitcoin involved, and I think that they might even have some NFT stuff going on with this house. The lawyer involved and suing them, and she talks about a contract. When she's talking about a contract, it makes me think that she may not fully understand, because a contract is just for the purchase. So a contract turns into a deed once you purchase it. So I may need to talk to the husband, and that's probably going to be best for me to talk to him to kind of get the details. But I'll do that on Wednesday. I pretty much, like I said, I'm going to go do some digging or whatever. Well, I was doing the digging on the call because what she's telling me, I'm writing it down. So they were paying $2,700, so they haven't paid. The lender is trying to foreclose on them, so they're getting a lawyer involved. So this is good. In the fact that it's not on Zillow as a pending foreclosure means that they haven't really started the process. But their anxiety and everything else is going to increase. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you later. I'm not the guy that we were in real estate 3 weeks ago. Right now, we're pretty much, and this is the brilliance of the program with Pace, is that, Pace started approaching sub 2 and stuff like that at a time when it was definitely a seller's market. But as we're transitioning now into this market where it's pretty much a buyer's market, especially for properties like this, then Pace's strategy gets even better. And it will get even better and better, because their only option, we can say, hey, look, there's no cash offer here. And there's truly no cash offer here. So what I'm going to tell her is, initially we thought we could make a cash offer, but I can't. The only way we can do this is if we give you like a super, super low. I mean, if we're going to do cash, you're going to have to give us 415,000. That's probably going to be our cash offer, which is 230,000 less than what they're really wanting right now. So what you get is you don't have to deal with these people anymore. You get to satisfy the mortgage. You walk away from that problem. And right now is not the right time for me to present that, because the market needs to decline a little bit more, and the days on market for them need to increase. So I'm still gonna, keep communicating with them and say, okay, well, gosh, I'm sorry. And, you heard me on the phone. Oh man, that sounds terrible. Oh, tell me more. Oh, man, what about this? And what about that? Right. So I'm just pretty much being friendly with them, just kind of gathering information to where, put them where I want them, to where, they won't even feel the knife go in when I present the offer. And I do want to know what they're going to do. I mean, she said that the agent is the husband. He's going to keep being aggressive. So he's an agent. I mean, think about that. He's a real estate agent in the state of Florida, and he cannot sell his own home.
And he cut the price. Like, that's like he should have done the right thing. He should have listed it below their asking and got multiple offers. That's what they should have done.
That's right. And you know what? They got greedy, because they had this issue. They got so greedy. They're like, oh, let the house appreciate a little bit more. And 3 weeks ago, she said it. You heard. She said, hey, we didn't know that the market was going to decline. But 3 weeks ago, everything, and his buddies, like they're talking about the same thing. You can't find buyers now. That's why we're reaching to people like you guys, blah, blah. They got greedy. They could have sold it a month ago, but you know what? They got greedy, so they should have listed this thing 6 months ago. He's an agent, you guys. He's an agent. He knew the problems. These problems didn't start. Yeah, they sat on their hands, and they're like, no. He's probably like, hey, I'm Donald Trump, like I'm like this mogul. I know that I can sell. And that's why I said that. And the reason I said to her, hey, you were thinking you were going to sell this for like 710,000, huh? She's like, man, yeah. You see how she I reinforced their point. I wanted to see that's what they were thinking. She's like, I know we should have sold it for like 710, 720, but we just never anticipated the market. And that's the thing. When you're trying to time the market, you're going to get slaughtered. And that's why I'm saying that Pace's system is the best right now, because it works on a seller's market and in a buyer's market. And now we're sitting pretty. And I told her, hey, I got to walk through like 30 more deals. So you're going to have to wait until the end of the week. And she's like, well, can you do like 7 days like your offer said? I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to try. But, I do have like 20 offers I got to make, which I do. I do have other properties. But you can hear the desperation. You can hear like all the issues. You can hear all kinds of stuff. And it's just funny to me, because we are now the girl that they're chasing. They thought they were all that like 3 weeks ago when it was a seller's market, but now it's shifted. It's completely on its head. So it's a great opportunity to get into real estate and do your first deal. Some people that got their first deal probably like under contract like a month, 2 months ago. Now they can't dispo it because they talked to the seller in a type of market that was like going gangbusters, and now there's their agreement, their price, their sales price has to change. So you have to go back to the seller and renegotiate with them. So it's very interesting what's happening. And if you look at the pictures, I mean, they're beautiful. This is a beautiful house. It should have sold. So you cannot have a more perfect situation to get what you wanted. Beautiful house. An agent is trying to sell it. There's really nothing wrong with the house. It's just bad timing.
Yeah, but I get your approach where you definitely got a lot of details. For me, what I kind of had a question about, or maybe again, just from a perspective, like what I might have asked would have been like just confirming that they haven't done anything to the property, and like everything's still basically the way that they bought it, and like everything's functioning, the floors and the AC and all that stuff, which I guess is what you probably would have done that in a walkthrough anyways, but just to confirm it. And then the other thing, I would have dug into their loan thing. But again, I guess it's still fine because you still plan on following up anyways, and you're still positioning it like you're probably going to need more information before you make your offer. Yeah. And you're right. If it was I'm adapting to the market the way it is going right now, to where I am just slowly releasing the process to them now, instead of rather than saying on that phone call, I get all the details, because I got to hurry, because there's going to be another caller that's going to get this deal. They're going to buy it from me. I don't have that. I don't have competition. So everything has really shifted. They're not going to be able to sell this property, not for 655. That is a given fact. And you know how I know that? Because I told her, and this is why I didn't ask her those questions, because I said, hey, look, and I repeated it 3 times. I said, if I buy this deal, it's like catching a falling knife. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, because, the market has been doing certain things and blah, blah. And it really has put us in a position that we're buying really a falling knife. And she says, yeah. And then I repeated it again. And then I said to her, so I kind of preambled my point, which was, if I buy this, what if I buy it from you and then I go and relist it, and then I can't even sell it for $600,000? She says, that is a definite possibility. I'm like, bingo. I got her to say what I wanted her to say, which is, you're not going to be able to sell it, even you, the owner, for 600 grand. And you know it. So I just wanted her to reinforce to me that she knew that they're looking at below 600,000, which she gave me the answer. So that was kind of a clever way of saying that. Now, when I do that is, now I got you at 600,000, right? Now I start asking those questions. Okay, so what are you going to pay for this? Now, like the clerical stuff, like the closing costs and the fees, you got to pay the attorney, you got to do this, you got to do that. So that's out the window. You have to pay for a lot of stuff. Then you got the maintenance. Then you got, whatever else, all of that gets deducted from the 600,000. So my offer
is probably going to be 420. So I'm just kind of reeling them in. And I actually don't think that this is a good deal because of the situation with the mortgage. It just sounds too dirty, too nasty. And I don't even know. I can't even understand why they don't just come to an agreement to make monthly payments.
Yeah,
Why don't you just come to an agreement to make monthly payments?
I would have dug some more into that too and be like, listen, like I get that you're saying it's a lot of moving parts and it's complicated to understand, but if you have a grasp on it, I would also like to join you and get a foothold as well to understand what's going on with this mortgage.
That's right.
Because this is, you know, I know anything's possible in America, but this is something I'm not following 100%, and this kind of helps me.
Yeah, and that's why I said I was going to call her back on Wednesday, because on Wednesday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, we need to really figure out this whole thing. And that's what I've been doing lately because of the market. I got the number that they want. They want $200,000 to walk away with. And the reason they want that is because they're thinking it was going to sell for 700,000. So I know that they're trying to take money out. So what I'm going to do is say, hey, I don't think you can walk away with 100,000, let alone 200. So let's talk about below 100 grand. What do you really think that you can walk away with just to be done with it?
Right.
And that's going to give me the sales
It's going to
price.
satisfy your need to put whatever, you know, something
That's
down
right.
on your next house, and, you
That's
know,
right.
kind of like, you know, the relief of having
That's
this
right.
off your plate and out of your mind and a new chapter and a new page.
That's
What
right.
is that? What does that look like?
That's right. Exactly. So when we do this in creative financing, we're not negotiating a sales price. I could care less about the sales price. What we're really negotiating is what they think they can walk away with. That's my negotiating price. So in their case, it's 200. So I got to figure out a way to decrease the 200,000 to maybe just a down payment. So let's say you go and buy a house that's going to be maybe 500,000 and you have to pay 10% down. So your sales price just went to $25,000 because I can definitely give you 25 grand. So you can put that down on your next house. And then this is like gone, you know, like your headache, I take over the headache, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I'm thinking is going to be the best way to do this deal. So anyway, let me put some notes here.
So I just ask, when do you decide what you kind of want to do with that deal? Like, this was obviously a strange one, but if it was more traditional, you know, would it be like, all right, I just want to wholesale this one, get an assignment fee and be done with it? Where do you decide? Like, obviously a fix and flip is if it needs it. And then I guess
it doesn't look like it needs a thing. Turnkey.
Yeah, turnkey.
So would this be something that you would buy and hold, or, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it changes house to house, but like, how do you make your decision if you're looking at a lot of similar houses? Just, I guess, base it on all.
No, we just start throwing options at them. That's pretty much what makes the decision. The decision really is not really made by us. It just sort of happens. So I'm gonna have like 3 different approaches with her, and that's probably the case in most of the deals, which is, okay, I'm gonna go and see if I can cash them out with 50 grand, right? Maybe 25. Maybe they'll just take 25 and walk away. Now, if I get to a conversation where they're like, no, we won't take 25, but we'll take 50 and just be done with it because it's too many headaches, right? Then at that point, I have to say, okay, well, yeah, you can walk away with 50. Let's talk about that. But what does that look like for me, right? On my end. Then at that point, I have to decide how I'm going to dispo it. So once I get them to agree, then I have to figure out how I'm going to have to dispo it. Like this deal here, for example, it would be great to post it on sub 2 and just go to them and say, hey, look, I got a deal. This is the situation, nasty deal, but they're willing to just walk away, give me 50 grand, cash them out. Well, there's a ton of people on the sub 2 community that they're trying to find their first house, a nice house, and they're willing to pay 70 grand. So I could just really quickly double close with them.
Yeah.
This is going to be their primary home. So that's going to be my number one option, is to find the end buyer first, because your end buyer is the one that makes you the most money and the one that saves you the biggest headaches. Because if they're willing to live there, and we're willing to the sellers are willing to sign some affidavits and whatnot with the closing title company, to where if they don't live in the house, they don't have the dispute or whatever. That's what I'm thinking. And then we can just buy it sub 2. That mortgage, we agreed to a monthly payment or whatever. And let's say I asked her what their payment should have been, and she says 2,700. So if we did 3,000 and the mortgage agrees to let us do 3,000 a month, then that turns into a really good deal, because a sub 2 student who is in the group just for the sake of finding their home, they got money or whatnot, and I see them all the time. These guys are on there. Like, it's crazy. That's a fantastic group. So they can access this house for 70 grand and 3,000 a month. That's a great first home for somebody without having to qualify for a mortgage. So I would do that first. If that doesn't work, then I have to go back to the seller and say, hey, that's not going to work. So the best I can do is I'll make you a cash offer for 415. That way we get rid of the lender, and then you still have a little bit of money in your pocket. One thing that she said is that she said, very important, I'm going to write it down here. She says, we know, hold on. She said, we know that we have no equity in this house. Did you guys remember that?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, she says, we know we have no equity in the house.
But
Which is
I
huge.
didn't understand. I didn't understand because I kind of, again, when she was talking about the Bitcoin and the lawsuit, and then she said, what I heard, and again, you were the one on the phone with the most clear audio. I heard that she said that we owe about 410.
Yeah,
And
401. Yeah, 401.
401, right? Yeah, we owe
Yeah.
about 401. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You know, the fact that she said that I didn't catch that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. She said that very clearly. And I'm like, that's when I just really got excited, because she said, we have no equity. I'm like, wait a minute. I think you do. But I didn't tell her that, you know? Let me just put some notes here. I use this audio on my computer. She owes $401,000, comma, she's got some weird Bitcoin lender, period. She mentioned that she believes that she doesn't have any equity, period. And the husband is a real estate agent who cannot sell his own house. Those are pretty much the points I want to remember. Let's see. Let me put the figures on here. Listed at 655K. Okay. But again, like, that's a really great call, just to kind of, we don't have to talk hypotheticals, you know, this is a live deal. I don't like hypotheticals because it's all like, okay, if it's hypothetical, how are we supposed to like actually do the real thing? Let me see. I think I got somebody that was trying to get a hold of me. Hold on just a minute.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna call it quits today. I gotta study before I head off
You got
to
it,
work
man.
today. But
Yeah,
I do
let's
look
take a
forward
break.
to the next one. Do we want to lock in a date and a time now, or?
I'm going to be doing, you know what? I'll just do it every single day. Just hit me up tomorrow. I'll be on, and I'm going to be on later on today, because I'm gonna just go through these leads anyway. That's like my job. I do this every single day. I'm gonna have to take a break. I'm gonna go work out real quick. Then I'll come back in like an hour and a half. And you guys can just hit me up all week. I'm gonna be doing this. Hey, what's your time, Ben? This week I can hop on, and don't feel like you have to stay for the length of it. You can come on, just have a quick chat, hear some of the calls, and just kind of be a part of it as your schedule allows.
Okay.
Awesome. Well,
As I
great to
got a
meet
quick
both of you.
question. Yeah, likewise, Sean. Nice meeting you, man. Before I jump off, my question would be, so what the part of I guess, let's say I'm doing some, I know you have leads and stuff too, and I'm sure that we're gonna get to that, but let's say that I'm doing the outreach, you know, I'm gonna sign up for batch tomorrow, whatever, and try and come up with a list of like 50 or 100 homes so I can at least text or call some of them.
Yeah.
The seller says that they're open to discussing a creative finance, you know, seller carry or taking over the existing payments, et cetera, et cetera. They're open to it. How are you introducing a third party to that call? Or because I don't 100%, you know, I don't know 100% how to comp the deal. And I don't 100%, you know, kind of have a take on, you know, the disposition in terms of like what would be an exit strategy and tying that in with structuring the deal. Like I have an idea, but you know, I'd rather learn and listen and JV the deal, and then just kind of do the lead work as far as finding people who are motivated to sell. So how are you alley-ooping that? Like, how would you recommend in the conversation?
Great question. Yeah, that is great question, and it really, it's simpler. You already know the answer, so it's going to resonate when I tell you. It's no big deal, because if you have the relationship already with the seller, you're going to say, man, fantastic, we can move forward. So what I'm going to do is, you can use one or two titles, is either introduce me as your partner or introduce me as somebody that works with you, an associate who's going to do the underwriting. So you can say, this guy is just going to give you a call. He's going to go over just the numbers, okay? Just the numbers, and he's going to try to get you as close to the number that you want. So his name is Ben. I'm always available for you. You can call me. If you don't like Ben, if you think that he's too rude or whatever, you still call me. You know, you tell him something like that, they'll kind of chuckle and stuff and say, yeah, no problem.
That makes sense.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. And it almost, you can almost pull that into like the good cop, bad cop, you know, like, you know, I got all this information on your property, and you know, I'm going to tell him how nice it is, or, you know, your situation, how he needs to talk to you and this and that.
That's right. And it also works because I'm going to give you the number. So I'm going to say, hey, his offer is, like in this case, he says that the most we can give you is 415. And then you can just kind of wait for her response, and she'll be like, what? 415? I know. What were you thinking? Well, I was thinking more like 600,000. Yeah, he ran the numbers, blah, 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 this and that. What can you do? What can you give me to tell him? Can you move at all? You know, can you come down a bit? And I'll try to figure out if I can get him to come up a bit. That type of good cop, bad cop is like key in this business. Key, like for sure. That's why you want to squat up with people, because you can do stuff like that, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, man, it's going to be great. Also, I got leads for you. I got lists already ready for you. Skip traced and everything. I can send those to you. So shoot me your email address on Messenger. And I may have some in New Jersey too for you there, Sean. So shoot me you guys' email addresses on Messenger. And then I can get a hold of some lists for you, so you guys can start dialing, you know. It would be like on your end, it'd be like cold calling mostly. You can text them, you can do whatever, you know, but you don't have to spend money right now in these two markets for to get a list, because I do have some things in New Jersey. I think I do. So and for Central Florida, for sure, I got some stuff. But even I can send you some stuff also, like Sean, like Tony was saying, for Central Florida, and we can just kind of work together in Central Florida to make some money.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Okay.
A pleasure talking to you guys. Take
Sweet,
care.
you guys.
I'll
Yeah.
hit you up tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna spend the morning driving around, and then I'll hit you up either way in the morning. But
Sure.
if you're doing this, then we can regroup in the afternoon after I have some leads and some addresses.
You got it, my man. You got it.
Cool. Peace out, you guys.
All right. Thank you, guys. Talk to you
Take
soon.
care.
Peace.